spirit, transform life, or even quell jitters of first day. A great book. Welcome to this edition of Hope Healthy Living. I'm Hope. Welcome, co-host.
Hi everyone, it's me, Pearl, and today we have various books here, and most of them have the theme of school.
Yes, and so we are going to start with the first group, right?
Yes.
Children's book.
This first book is called Tinyville Town, Time for School. This is a great book for kids who are nervous for school, especially if they're new to this school or this town. The main character, Ellie, right here, we go through her school schedule in this book and how the school runs with the teachers, the principals, the bus drivers, and the lunch ladies, etc.
Yes.
So this is a really good book to give to your child, especially since this is targeted for about first grade.
Yes.
Because that's the grade that Ellie is in. So I really recommend this book to help your child be more confident for their first day of school.
Yes. Great pick. So this is written by Brian Biggs, right?
Yes.
So make sure you are reading the name of the author. So next pick.
This next book is called Wemberly Worries by Kevin Henkes, yes. This book is about Wemberly. She worries way too much. If you think you worry a lot, well, this girl worries so much all the time. It's like an everyday thing for her.
Yes, I see that.
So let's see what are some of the stuff she worries about. Big things. I want to make sure you were still here. Little things like spilling her juice at breakfast and things in between. Mama, what if I shrink?
Yes.
So it's obvious that this girl is always worrying, and most of the time about silly stuff.
Yes.
And in this book, Wemberly has a new and big worry, school. And she's really worried that what if she doesn't fit in, what if she doesn't have a friend. But she meets this little girl named Jules, and they become friends because they are very alike. They worry a lot, and they both have little stuffed animals. Jules has a little cat named Niblet. And Wemberly's little bunny is called Petal, and they end up being really good friends because they're very alike.
Yes.
Because they worry a lot.
Yes.
But they don't worry more than usual once they're friends. So the last little scene is her and her parents dancing because they're really happy.
Yes. Why do you think a parent would like to read this book at this time, back to school?
To show that there is a friend for everyone, and that to help your child be more confident to make friends, especially if they have common interests.
Yes. Oh, that is a great advice, right? Yes. And now we're going to go to the next one.
This next book is called King of Kindergarten. It is written by Derrick Barner and illustrated by Vanessa Brantley Newton. This is about a little boy who is the king of kindergarten. He is super excited, and he drives to school in what he describes as a big yellow carriage will deliver you to a grand fortress, aka school. And he has a bunch of fun at school, like his teacher's nice, and they learn about class
Can you
rules,
show a little bit on the camera?
The alphabet, numbers, and they read a book about trucks, trains, and tractors.
Yes.
So this is his first day of kindergarten, and he's super excited. He plays with one of his classmates, Mary, during recess, and then he shares a pudding with his friend Howie at lunch.
Yes.
And then they have music class, and it's just a really fun and cute book to give to your child if they're a little nervous or anxious about the first day of school. It will really help them be a little more excited.
Yes, great. I'm going to continue still with the theme of, back to school. I have this one, which is a great book. When I saw this book, it reminded me how I used to do your hair. It says, I Got the School Spirit, written by Connie, Schofield, Morrison, illustrated by Frank Morrison. So this is a very great book. It's written in a whimsical, poetical way, where this girl said, I sleep on the spirit in my shiny new shoes, stomp, stomp. And, when she's driving, when the bus is driving, it's vroom, vroom. And when she's eating the sunny side egg in the morning, it's sizzle, sizzle. So you have that repetitive, rhyming words in there. It's almost like if you can dance. And she's just spreading that energy, that spirit all through her day. And even when she got on the bus and she see this child who's sad, she shared that, burst of energy that she has with him, with the other kids. So this is a great book. And throughout the day until her parent picks her up, she still has that energy, right? Yes. And so this is really a fun book for kids, just to spark, again, that interest in school, right? After the long summer. So, and again, something that I picked, and I think parents, you will love this book. Okay.
Okay, this next book doesn't really go with the theme of school, but it's a really fun and colorful book called The Birthday Queen.
Yes.
So this queen is always busy. She has to, let's see what she has to do to get ready for each birthday. She has to send invitations by Dove. She has to test the party games.
Ooh.
Then she also has to see if the clowns are funny. And some of them are not.
Yes.
And she has to make sure the perfect cake is prepared for the birthday girl or boy. And sometimes she has to take over and make the cake herself.
Yes.
She has to wrap the gifts. She has to also prepare the room for the party. And she has to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Yes.
And whoa, look at that cake. That is very, she's very talented.
Yes.
Yeah, very elaborate.
Yes.
And this last page says, you open your eyes and see the birthday queen standing nearby. She smiles, and when she does, she looks just like your mother.
And so this is really about all the steps, right? It takes to have that perfect birthday, right?
Yes.
And I really love the color. This will captivate any child. I mean, I was impressed. The illustration, I mean, all the color you can think of, you'll find it in this book. So, great book. This one is written by Audrey and Don Wood. Great.
Okay, guys, this next book is called Rising Yonder Barn by Jane Yolen and illustrated by Barney Futchs.
Yes.
Futz.
Futz. Yes.
Futz. Yeah. This book is about the classic pioneer family. They have a house and a barn where they keep their cattle and tools. This book is about how the barn, there was a thunderstorm and the barn got struck by lightning.
Yes.
But thankfully, a bunch of their neighbors came to help them put out the fire.
Yes.
Some came by foot and some came by horseback. They managed to make sure that the fire didn't spread, but they unfortunately couldn't save the barn. So this old man came and he was like, I can help you because I have built many barns in my life. But then he left.
Yes.
But a couple days later, he came back with probably over 100 men, women, and children who came to help them rebuild the barn.
Great.
And they worked all day. They worked really hard. The women cooked and the men worked on the barn. And in only one day, they ended up finishing the barn more beautiful and bigger than ever.
Yes. So
This book's message is teamwork makes the dream work, because if it were only the one family, it would have taken months
Yes.
to complete
Yes.
the barn.
So I love that community coming together, right?
Yes.
So this is a great book to teach kids about helping each other. So still not being a school team, but remember, teamwork is very important, part of life, right?
Yes.
Whether you are in school or not. Thank you. So should I do the next one?
Sure.
Okay. So this one is based on the childhood experience of Georgie Badiel, The Water Princess. This book is written by Susan Verde and illustrated by Peter H. Reynolds, right? And so this is a story. Georgie Badiel, she's a top model now, but when she was little, she lived in Africa in a country called Burkina Faso. And so this book tells a little bit about a little girl, Gigi, that's how she's called in this book, and the mother called Water Princess. And so she has this happy life where she thinks she has this superpower, but when it comes time to maybe have water to drink, her superpower can really not bring the water, right? So she has to walk miles. They walk about 4 miles every day just to fetch water, and they carry it, in a pail just like that. And so you see throughout the book the importance of water. Water is life. They need water for cooking, they need water for drinking, to shower, everything. And so this is really about another child's lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And though it's not easy, it's tedious work to go fetch water for miles, but it just shows you how another child lives, right? And I really love the message in this book, because at the end we see that through an organization called Ryan's Well, the top model Georgie Badiel, she was able to bring water to the school, her elementary school. And so they have to build some wells so the children have clean water. And so you just can imagine how easy it can make your life if you have clean, accessible water in school. So great message. And this book, again, not being a school theme book, but you can see that it's kind of circle around children's life and the importance of clean water, right?
Yes.
So I love this book. This is a very inspirational book for children. Great. So which one would be the next on your list? Looks like you finished your roundup of children's book.
Yes.
Oh, great. So can we move on to other book, or let's see.
Sure.
Oh, I have this one.
Yes.
This is a great book, guys. I picked this book because of the topic discussed in this book. So, Hair for Mama, written by Kelly Tinkham, illustrated by Amy June Bates. So, this is a story of a little boy. You know, in the Carter's family, they always take a picture in October. They take a family picture. It's a tradition for many, many families. But this special year, things are not going well because his mama is going through cancer treatment. And so the little boy is very worried that mama is going to lose her hair, which happens a little bit when, you know, when you're going through chemotherapy. But, you know, the beautiful part of this book is that despite the illness, the child wants his mother to be just as beautiful with a smile in the picture. And so he had an idea. He wanted his mother to have some hair, so he was thinking about cutting his own hair to make a wig for his mother. When he went to the barber shop and got his hair completely, you know, shaved, he stared in the mirror a little bit too long, and by the time he finished staring his head in the mirror, the barber had cleaned up the floor.
Yes.
So now he didn't have any hair to bring home. So you have to read the book and find out if mama ever get the wig, if the family is going to take the picture. And this is a very hopeful, inspirational book. I like the fact that the author used, you know, just a simple story about, you know, trying to make the mother smile to bring in the serious topic of cancer, right?
Yes.
And so, beautiful book, well written. I love this book, written by Kelly Tinkham. And you know, especially at this moment, many children have had their family really torn apart because of this pandemic, right? Many families, I mean, you can see children who lost so many members in their family, so this is a difficult time. So talking about something like this, just bring a new perspective in another child's life, because so many children go through these difficult times, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, great pick.
So this next book, these books are for a little older kids. Okay guys, this next book is called The Secret of the Old Clock, Nancy Drew Mystery Stories by Caroline Keeney.
Yes.
This is the first book in the original Nancy Drew books.
Yes.
This is the original. There are also some other books.
Newer versions.
Yes.
Yes.
For younger kids, it's not the same stories, but it does have Nancy Drew in them. So this book starts off with Nancy just driving, and then she sees a little girl
Yes.
who is on the street, and the little girl almost gets hit by a car that's zooming by, but she ends up being able to get on the side of the bridge.
Yes.
But she loses her balance and falls. Nancy rescues the girl and takes her to her two aunts, who are taking care of her because her parents have passed away.
Yes.
And she talks a little to them, and they tell her that they are in financial struggles, and they are worried that they won't be able to raise Judy because they're getting older and they can't work as fast as they used to, so they're not getting paid as much.
Yes.
They tell Nancy that they were supposed to be included in a will by this old and rich man who soon went to live with some other his, I think, relatives.
Yes.
Or friends.
Don't give too much out. So,
but he didn't like them, but somehow all of his whale money went to them.
yeah.
So Nancy goes around in this whole book trying to get clues of where maybe a later will is, and she finds it in...
Don't give the clue. So you have to read the book, right, to find out. And I love the fact that you are reading. This is your first time reading Nancy Drew series. How did you like it?
I think it was pretty good.
Good. And I want to give a shout out to one of our fans and his daughter, because it was through the comment section of Invision Hope Healthy Living that we found out that this little girl was reading Nancy Drew's series, and so we picked it at the library. So this is really what Invision Hope Healthy Living is about: sharing, inspiring, and empowering each other. So big shout out to you and kudos to your daughter. So we are going to keep reading this series. Great. Anything else you want to add?
No, but it's a really good book, and I really recommend it for you guys.
Yes, great.
So this next book is called Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Getaway by Jeff Kinney.
Yes.
This is one of my favorite series, you guys. I'm always telling you guys this, and I'm always reviewing like different books because I don't really read them in order. This is actually book 12, so I recommend that you guys start with book 1.
Yes.
So this is about the Healthleys, and they go on vacation to a tropical island for Christmas break.
Yes.
It's a tropical resort.
Yes.
And a bunch of struggles go into getting there. Like, they think that they're really late for their flight.
Yes.
But it ends up being delayed, and they have to wait for probably an hour or so to get on. And they had to wait for replacement pilots and staff members,
yes,
because
the crew, yes.
yeah, the crew, because the other crew was worked too hard, so they had to wait for that as well. So double delay.
Yes.
So Greg really can't catch a break in this crazy vacation, and he didn't even want to go in the first place, so he kind of just got dragged along with his parents' idea.
Yes.
So if you want to know all the other stuff that happened to Greg, all the drama in this book, make sure to pick it up after you read the other books before this one, because this is book 12.
Yes.
So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, so this next book is Spy's Guidebook. It's really cool because it has a bunch of tips on how to be a really cool spy, and all the things you need to know about secret codes and secret messages, what shoe gives what footprints, which is really cool, and how to spy on people and make sure people don't see your face. So if you're a detective, you don't want anyone to see your face. So it's a really cool book, and it even has some interesting makeup tips on how to kind of change your appearance, like giving yourself wrinkles, eye bags, a black eye, and some clothing choices to make you look maybe older than you actually are. So I really like this book, and I really do recommend it. It's a really fun and creative book.
Yes. Thank you very much. And you know how I always say, when you go to the library, pick some books that are purely academic level
and
books.
some fun books.
Yes, and some fun books. And this would be a great fun book.
So if you want to find this book, you might be able to find it in the new book section, which is where I found it, or you might just have to ask a librarian to help you find this book. It's called Spy's Guidebook.
Okay, great pick. Illustrated by Colin King, right?
Yes.
Good. And so I am going to talk about this book, How to Day Trade for a Living. This is a great book written by Andrew Aziz. And the reason why I say it's a good book, because I actually scanned through the book and I saw that it's easy to read. And we bought this book for my teenage son, right? And after just a couple of days, he was able to start, beginner trading. And so I thought it was really good to share this, who knows? There might be another teenager or another child out there who might be interested in trading or stocks or finance. And this will be a great book. It gives you the basics, that beginner guide for trading. And I know that it's well written, because our teenage son was actually able to apply what he read in here and set his account. So great. Guys, we are going to wrap up with my 2 picks. These are the books that I just finished reading. The first one is Grace, Gold, and Glory by Gabriel Douglas. And I picked this book because it was on display, during the Olympics. And I love watching gymnastics, I love sport. But this book is truly an inspirational book. It talks about Gabby Douglas' trials, tribulations, and triumph. So can you imagine, she was born with a blood disorder, and to be able to grow up and train and become, a professional athlete at a young age. I love this book. And throughout the book, we see the many times when things didn't go very well, especially, their finances were very short. For some time, they actually lived in their mother's van. This is a great book. It talks about her faith and how it was able to keep her grounded, as well as her family, through the many challenging times that they faced. And she's a 2-time Olympic medalist. So this is a good book for inspiration for any teenager and even adults, because I did have a lot of interest reading this book, because I myself found lots of motivation just from her story. So great pick. Okay, and this one, this book. I gave you a little bit of a sneak peek of what's happening in this book. Then She Was Gone. This is by Lisa Jewell, and this is a novel for adults. So it talks about a mother who 10 years after the disappearance of her daughter, she begins this journey of, trying to put her life together. A page turner, you go through confusion, alarm, a world of secrecies. So many things happen in this book. But if you read it, at the end, she tried to make sense of it all, and she really have, how can I say, her life will never be the same without her daughter. But, it's a very hopeful book at the end. So, bittersweet moment, but in all, truly a book about life, Great.
Okay guys, that's all the books we have for you guys today. If you like them, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and click that notification bell down below so you know when we upload new videos every single time.
Yes, and I want to give a shout out to all our fans and friends who wished me happy birthday. So thank you very much. Thank you for your support, and thank you for watching our videos. And if you are watching this for the first time, we want to welcome you and thank you. Invision Hope Healthy Living is a place where we share, learn, inspire, and empower each other. And on that note, we are going to say bye, and we'll see you in our next video.